Yo, welcome, sit back and let me tell you about what PC games are free for you to enjoy this week. And my apologies because we're starting off in your bedroom, where you'll be taking juicy headshots after juicy headshots and do your best to survive the onslaughts of shots fired at you. Now that I'm reading this amazing intro out loud, it's kinda weird, but so is 2025 so far, so let's go. Anyway, Mini Royale, a funky battle royale in a super cool setting in some rich ass kid's bedroom. I mean, to be fair, it does a great job at serving you many that's pretty cool moments. Particularly the elevation differences on the map really add another level of I wasn't expecting that, and that's pretty spicy as always. To be fair, the gunplay can use a bit of smoothing out and the overall game can use a bit of polish here and a bit of smoothing over there. That said, this bad boy is in early access, pre-alpha, very early stages, that type of thing. But it can be fixed with a morning after pill if you know what I'm saying. I feel fairly confident that the developers over at Indigo Blue will sort out all of these things by the time the game is released sometime in Q2 2025. If you wanna join in and take Mini Royale out for a spin, you can head on over to Steam and claim it there. This juicy bad boy is currently sitting in with mixed reviews, just around 300 reviews. Next up, I want to introduce you to a game that can only come to fruition when the developer consumes a stupid amount of mushrooms that he, she, they or them found in a juicy, moist forest floor. I mean, take a look at it. Look at it. I mean, tell me it's not hitting your goddamn that's weird bone in the back of your spine. Because in Dream Barbecue, we get to experience a surreal environment and even weirder characters as you play as Ina in a new wild world. To be fair, I don't want to say too much about this juicy title, but try it and experience what the developer's interesting mind created. I totally understand the overwhelmingly positive reviews, it's well deserved. By the way, if you want to stay up to date on free games and get them served to you in this quick and quirky setting, can you do us both a favor and smash the subscribe button? Preferably with your left butt cheek, thank you very much. And as always, links to all of the games mentioned in this video are in the description and they take you straight to the deal. That's the high quality type of service that I like to provide. Next up, we take a look at Paradise, which is set to be released on the 2nd of April. Paradise is a free-to-play life simulation game, I guess, where you get to live out your amazing dream life of having a girlfriend and kicking grannies over the shin. Actually, I'm not really too sure about what you do here. I guess it's kind of an endless world, endless play type of game with an open world that invites you to do whatever you want. I'm not sure about the kicking grannies over the shin part, but if I made the game, I would for sure include it. Paradise is currently in early access, so you can take it for a spin right away or wait until the full release set on the 2nd of April. Let me introduce you to Deep Creep, which is also the nickname I had growing up. This juicy bad boy is a dynamic, stylized first-person shooter where you can choose between 3 unique game modes and your sole purpose is to defeat all of the enemies in the dungeon. It is totally giving me old-school Doom and Quake vibes for any of you boomers out there who remember the good old Quake days. And to be fair, this Deep Creep is actually off to a pretty good start with positive reviews on Steam being released just a few days ago. Next up, I want to take a look at Clockwork Sword. Here you get to slash, stab and shoot your way through a multi-tiered museum filled with corrupt automata, as they call them, automata. Anyway, you get to customize your weapon with scraps of the fallen, it's very juicy. Clockwork Sword is a thrilling isometric hack and slash in which you utilize combinations of weapons and elements to conquer your foes. It's one of those games with a distinct art style that is well executed and easy on the eyes. Next, we take a look at Dungeon Ascent. Here you descend into a dark depth of a dungeon teeming with creepy creatures where every moment is... Really? Now I get a goddamn text message. Sorry about that. Anyway, here you get to grab powerful weapons, improve your skills and fight to the very last breath to survive as long as possible in this endless nightmare. This bad boy is currently sitting in with positive reviews, but I kinda doubt all of those are genuine reviews as many of the accounts are fairly new. But I guess if you're interested in a top-down shooter that takes place in someone's colon, then here you go and thank me later. Next, we want to take a look at Rocket Delivery Spacewalk. An interesting take on a run-and-gun game where the developers squeezed in a bit of inventory management into the game to add an extra little bit of spice. It's not the longest game in the world, and if I remember correctly, there's a total of 15 levels, and after each level you get to upgrade your gear. Just keep in mind that it has to fit in your backpack before you move forward. Rocket Delivery Spacewalk is off to a decent start with positive reviews at a total of 35 reviews. By the way, there is a playtest up for Fatal Fury City of Wolves. And it's fair to say that after 26 years, a brand new entry into the Fatal Fury series is set to arrive on the fighting scene. Fatal Fury City of the Wolves features a unique art style that stimulates the senses and innovative rev system that supercharges the excitement, just as the original. Here, and at long last, a new legend might be set to unfold. The game is set to be released on the 24th of April, and until then you can take this juicy bad boy out for a spin and see if your finger dexterity is as good as you think. In fairness, we haven't had a fighting game on this channel for quite a while, so it's nice to be able to serve you one that you can play 100% free of charge. Next up, we have a fun one. One Armed Robber, which is a chaotic first-person heist game that centers around a uniquely challenging premise. Players take the role of a determined robber equipped with only one arm, tasked with pulling off daring heists on banks, shops and various establishments. I would have loved to have been in the room when the developers came up with this idea. It's totally silly idea and I absolutely love it. Sometimes the stupidest idea makes the best games, and One Armed Robber is better than Payday 3 any day. And if you're lucky enough to have any of those things called friends, then you let them join you because it will make the experience 10 times more fun. In my humble opinion, I think the game needs a few more maps that are free to play and a difficulty slider because damn, I got my ass kicked. I think I was jumped by 30 SWAT members while I was robbing a small shitty convenience store with my one and only arm. Next, I want to introduce you not to a new free game, but a good free game. Enlisted is free to play both on Steam and on the Epic Store. It's an interesting take on a World War II shooter where you're not only commanding a single soldier but an entire squad, and you can jump between different classes in your squad to maximize your damage. Commanding your very own squad is actually quite fun. Sometimes their movement can be idiotic to be fair, but I've had a blast with this game. I must have had like 100 hours played or something, and that says a lot with someone with as limited time as me. I poured every ounce of those 100 hours into one specific tank, and I upgraded it so much that it would cook tanks in 1 or 2 juicy play shots. Man, those were fun times. I highly suggest that you take it for a spin, at least for the experience, and see if it's anything for you. Let's take a quick jump over to the Epic Store, where last week we mentioned that the mystery game giveaway on the Epic Store is well underway, and we've got 2 free games offered to us this week, Cat Quest and Neko Ghost Jump. So as we correctly predicted last week, we got our hands on Cat Quest, the multi-award winning action RPG. Some say Diablo with cats, and others call it a super cute Skyrim. I just call it an RPG with cats. But in all honesty, Cat Quest's loot-fueled adventure game is good looking, and its combat and magics are ultra satisfying. It's an adventure RPG game with cats, and it's currently sitting in with overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, so they are clearly doing something right. So I highly suggest you go claim Cat Diablo. It's a nifty little turbo ARPG. It doesn't look too bad, has nice music, and you can for sure help you waste a few hours. And alongside Cat Quest, you can also claim Neko Ghost Jump until the 3rd of April. Neko Ghost Jump is a puzzle platformer where you switch between 2D and 3D perspective to zip your way through 40 plus levels across 8 intriguing worlds. It's one of those games that require amazing hand to eye to brain coordination in order not to rage quit within the first 13 seconds of gameplay. And if I'm not mistaken, this juicy bad boy is still in early access, so expect a few bugs and hiccups here and there, but if you're into puzzle platformers, you will really not care. And the Epic Games have been so nice as to give us a clue for the next mystery game, which is set to be revealed in the middle of next week. And if you don't want a spoiler for what game is next, then skip ahead. And as most of you know, I have a magic crystal ball that allows me to look into the future, and is also why I know that the next free game will be Gori Cuddly Carnage. Here, humanity has been destroyed, and it's up to you, Gori, along with his deadly but wisecracking sentient hoverboard Frank, and Morse AI companion CH1P, to shred and slay the evil, adorable army. This bad boy was released not too long ago and is currently sitting in with overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, which is impressive considering the game contains cats. I mean, I guess it's fair to say that we're in for a lot of cat games coming our way from the Epic Store. Last and not least, and while we're still on the Epic Store, let me get your eyeballs on Wuthering Waves, which is a story-rich open-world action RPG with a high degree of freedom. You wake up from your slumber as Rover, joined by a vibrant cast of resonators on a journey to reclaim your lost memories and surmount the lament. Everything about Wuthering Waves gameplay is designed with momentum in mind. Not only is combat fast-paced and unrelenting, but even the way the characters are designed to navigate the terrain allows them to move quickly and juicily smooth. Here, strict timing is required for certain core mechanics, which rewards players based on their skill. All of this spiced with over-the-top visual effects are highly satisfying without creating much clutter on the screen. I highly suggest that you give it a go, and just keep in mind the first few hours of gameplay are amazingly slow to develop for some odd reason, so arm yourself with a bit of patience when you jump head in first to this juicy universe. Before we go, can we just give a high five to the only channel member that we have, Manga Kai. Baby, I love you. There is a picture of my signed face coming your way. And that was pretty much all I had for you in this one. Thanks 1,000 for taking the time to watch my video. Thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, subscribe if you haven't, like yeah, why not? Thanks a lot for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.